Build your dreams, live rich, and leave rich.
Welcome to Live Rich and Leave Rich. My philosophy here is really simple. Living rich isn't about having more and more things, living lavishly. It's about living peacefully. It's about that peace of mind. Now, this explainer is designed to give you a solid framework for your thinking, but please remember to always consult a CBI-registered financial advisor to build a personalized plan that's just right for you. All right, let's just jump right in with a question I want you to be really honest about. Imagine it. 5 crores, tax-free, just sitting in your bank account right now. Do you still show up for that Monday morning meeting? That gut answer you just had? Well, it reveals pretty much everything about your relationship with your work. If it's a hard no, then chances are you're working for the salary, not for the satisfaction. And today, we're going to start laying out the plan to fix that.
And that fix, it starts with a huge shift in how we think. You see, society has sold us this story that retirement is like a cliff. You fall off at age 60. That's an old industrial age idea. I want you to just throw that idea out and replace it with this one. Retirement is not an age you reach. It is a number you achieve. It is the specific number that buys you your freedom.
So why don't more people see it this way? Well, it's because most of us are trapped in something I call the golden handcuffs. And, it's a pretty comfortable prison. You get a promotion, a nice raise, and what's the first thing that happens? The car gets bigger, the holidays get a bit fancier, the EMI grows, the handcuffs just get a little shinier, a little heavier, chaining you to that desk right up until you're 60.
And this right here, this is the engine of that trap. It has a name: lifestyle inflation. It's this invisible force that makes sure no matter how much more money you earn, you never really feel like you're getting ahead. It's like you're running faster and faster on a treadmill, but you're not actually going anywhere. You're just paying for a more expensive version of the exact same life.
But what if you could just step off that treadmill? That's where this really powerful idea comes in. FIRE. Financial independence, retire early. Now don't get too hung up on the retire early part. This isn't really about escaping work to sit on a beach forever, though you absolutely could if you wanted to. It's about owning your time. It's about waking up on a Monday morning and asking yourself, what do I want to do today? Instead of what do I have to do to pay the bills? That's the real freedom. So how do we get there? How much money is actually enough? This is the best part. It's not some vague, mysterious number you have to guess. It's just math. It's simple, it's elegant, and it is so powerful. There is a specific number that will set you free. And right now, we are going to figure out what it is. Now, if you look this up, especially in the West, you'll hear about something called the 25x rule. But for us in India, I really believe that's cutting it a little too close. And here's why. Our real-world inflation isn't the official number they announce. The cost of good education, quality healthcare, the things that really matter. That inflation runs closer to 7 or even 8%. So to build a solid buffer to make our plan truly resilient, we use the 30x rule. And here it is. This might be the most powerful formula you ever learn. It's this simple. You take your total yearly expenses, everything you spend in a full 12 months, and you just multiply it by 30. That's it. So if your family's annual expenses are, say, 10 lakhs a year, your freedom number is 3 crores. I want you to actually write that number down. That is your finish line.
So how does this magic actually work? Well, you don't spend the 3 crores. Think of that huge amount, that corpus, as a golden goose. You invest it wisely in a mix of things like equity and debt, and every year it lays a golden egg. By withdrawing a very safe 3 to 4%, which is your 10 lakhs, you're just living off the egg. Meanwhile, the goose itself, your principal amount, keeps growing to stay ahead of inflation. You never ever have to kill the goose.
Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting. Your journey to financial freedom, it's deeply personal. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. There are different paths you can take, different flavors of FIRE, and you get to choose the one that really fits with your values and the kind of life you actually want to live.
Let's break these down. First up, you've got lean FIRE. This is for the minimalist, someone who values their time more than anything else. They live simply, often in a lower-cost city, and they get to freedom the fastest. On the other end of the spectrum is fat FIRE. This is for high earners who want to retire into a lifestyle that's even more luxurious than their working one. Then there's my personal favorite, barista FIRE. This is where you save enough so your investments cover all your major costs, and then you can quit the high-stress job to do something part-time that you love, maybe at a coffee shop or an NGO or teaching. You do it just to cover the daily bills. It's a beautiful blend of freedom and purpose. And finally, there's Coast Fire. This is perfect for young savers. You invest aggressively early in your career until you hit a certain number that, just with the magic of compounding, will automatically grow into your full retirement fund by age 60. The second you hit that Coast Fire number, you can stop saving. You just earn enough to cover your expenses.
Okay, so we've talked about the theory and these 4 different paths. But what does this actually look like in the real world, here in India? Let's make this really tangible with a story of 2 colleagues working at an IT firm. We'll call them Ravi and Anjali. Same company, same salary, but as you'll see, radically different futures. Just look at these numbers. The difference is staggering. They both earn 20 lakhs a year. Ravi is living what looks like the good life, right? He spends 18 lakhs. His savings rate is a tiny 10%. He's really a slave to his lifestyle and his EMIs. Anjali, on the other hand, she consciously keeps her expenses down to 8 lakhs a year and saves a massive 60% of her income. Notice this, their freedom isn't determined by their salary, it's determined by their savings rate. And here is the result of that one simple choice. In about 15 years, Anjali hits her barista fire number. So at age 40, while Ravi is still stressed out about his next appraisal, Anjali puts in her resignation papers. She just walks away from the whole corporate grind to follow her lifelong passion of teaching music. Sure, she earns a little bit, just enough to feel productive and cover some small bills, but she's not doing it for the money. She's doing it for love. She has literally bought back decades of her life. Now, Anjali's story, it's not a fairy tale. It is the result of a very clear, very deliberate plan. And right now, I'm going to give you that exact same map. It's a simple 4-step process so you can start your own journey from being trapped to being free. And the best part is, you can start today. Here we go. Step 1. You have to track every single rupee. You must know your exact annual burn rate, no guessing. Step 2. Calculate your freedom number using that burn rate and our 30x rule. Write it down, put it somewhere you can see it every single day. Step 3, and this is the accelerator pedal, do everything you possibly can to boost your savings rate. This one lever has more impact than anything else. And finally, step 4, choose your path. Be honest with yourself. Don't chase fat fire to impress your relatives if a simple lean fire life is what will actually bring you joy and peace. Pick your lane. So let's bring it all home. What are the core ideas to really let sink in? First, retirement is a math problem that you can actually solve, not some age you're forced to wait for. Second, your speed to freedom isn't your income, it's your savings rate. Third, the silent enemy you absolutely must plan for is Indian inflation. And most importantly, the goal isn't to do nothing. The goal is to get to a place where work becomes a choice, a passion, not a necessity. I want to leave you with the same question we started with, but maybe framed a little differently now. This isn't about some distant lottery ticket dream. Financial freedom is a solvable equation, and the variables are in your control. The power to design the entire rest of your life is literally right there in your hands. So the only real question is, will you pick up the pen and start solving? Live rich and leave rich.